Welcome everyone this morning to our welcoming board regular meeting on June 15, 2017. We will call this meeting to order. If everyone would please stand. We'll be led by County Board Member Aaron Benefield with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, and then introducing the clergy for this morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Executive, Mike doesn't seem to be working this time. It's on.
It's on.
You can hear me?
Yep.
I'd like to introduce Pastor Ron Marchese from the Calvary Church in Naperville. Pastor Ron grew up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and attended Central Bible College in Springfield, Missouri. He's also been associate pastor at Calvary Church since 1987. Pastor Ron and his wife, is it Chrisanne, have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. Pastor Ron Marchese, thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to just pray for you and pray with you. Lord, we thank you this morning for this beautiful day. We thank you for another day of life and health and strength that you've given to each of us. Lord, we take a moment, we pray for the congressmen and the others that were injured in this tragic event yesterday. We pray for their health and their healing today. Pray that you would be near to them. Lord, I pray for the people in this room that make decisions, and I pray that they would have godly wisdom, that you would strengthen them. I pray for each of them, Lord, that you'd bless their families, bless their homes, their marriages, their children, their grandchildren, whatever the case may be. We thank you for your love for us. We pray for just blessing on this meeting today. We thank you for the freedom we have in America. We're blessed to be Americans, and we pray for peace in our nation. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. God bless you all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Sure. Mayor Brooks.
Here.
O'Grella. Summers.
Here.
Singer.
Here.
Moran.
Here.
Rice. Here. Harris.
Here.
Trenier.
Here.
Benefield.
Here.
Fritz.
Present.
Gould.
Here.
Militello.
Here.
Balich.
Here.
Wizzlum.
Here.
Winfrey.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Staley Ferry.
Here.
Dollinger.
Here.
Markham.
Here.
Hart.
Here.
Tumanello.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Berry. Colitis.
Here.
And Eustis.
Mr. Eustace?
Yes.
Thank you.
24 present, 2 absent.
24 present, 2 absent, and we do have a quorum present. Entertain a motion to place on file the certificate of application. Moved by Mr. Markham, second by Mr. Trenier. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Mayor.
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Summers.
Yes.
Singer.
Yes.
Moran.
Yes.
Rice.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Trenier.
Yes.
Benefield.
Yes.
Fritz.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Militello.
Yes.
Balich.
Yes.
Wizzlum.
Yes.
Winfrey.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Staley Ferry.
Yes.
Dollinger.
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Hart.
Yes.
Tumanello.
Yes.
Weigel.
Yes.
Berry. Colitis. and Eustace.
Yes.
Thank you.
24 affirmative.
24 affirmative, motion as carried. Next up, the approval of minutes of the Will County Board of Recess meeting, May 18th. Moved by Ms. Summers, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Melito. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried. Madam Clerk, would you acknowledge the elected officials in the media that is present this morning?
Sure. County Clerk Nancy Schultz Booth, our County Executive Larry Walsh, Sheriff Mike Kelly, and our State's Attorney James Glasgow. We have the media. We have Farmers Weekly Review Nick Breyer, Southtown Susan Lafferty, Herald News Mike Mallory, and Times Weekly Brock Stein. Welcome and good morning.
Good morning, everyone. There are no formal proclamations this morning, but we do want to recognize State's Attorney Jim Glasgow.
Thank you, Larry. As you know, Leopardo Construction has done a great job on the sheriff's facility on Laraway Road, and I had a chance to meet with their leadership team, and we talked to them about our Children's Advocacy Center. And they expressed that they had worked with other children's groups throughout the country, and were very anxious to help us. Little did we know they were going to help us at the level that they decided to do, which was a $10,000 gift, which is the largest cash gift we've ever gotten. I think it's really great when the people who obviously profit from the relationship with the county board and the county realize that it's important to give back, especially to an effort like the Children's Advocacy Center, where we're trying to save children who have been scarred in a way that we don't even want to think about. So again, I just want to do a shout out to Leopardo and make sure everybody was aware of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank
Very
you.
nice, very nice. All resolutions approved by at the May 18, 2017 County Board meeting have been signed by the county executive. On to new business, our first committee is Land Use and Development Committee. Mr. Weigel.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Tom.
First item is open the public hearing for land use cases. I make a motion.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Gould. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Mayor?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Singer?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice? Harris?
Yes.
Trinier?
Yes.
Benefield?
Yes.
Fritz?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Militello?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Staley Ferry?
Yes.
Dollinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Tumanello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Colitis?
Yes.
And Eustace.
Yes.
Thank you.
24 affirmative.
24, we are in public hearing. So please be advised, absolutely no evidence or information will be allowed once this land use public hearing is closed. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on? We have one case this morning, ZC 17-001. Anyone from the public that wishes to speak on that case? We didn't have anybody signed up.
No.
Anyone interested in wanting to speak on that case? Anyone? Mr. Weigel?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Balich. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Singer?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Trinier?
Yes.
Benefield?
Yes.
Fritz?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Militello?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Staley Ferry?
Yes.
Dollinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Tumanello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Colitis?
Yes.
And Eustace.
Yes.
Thank you.
24 affirmative.
24 affirmative public hearing has been closed. Mr. Weigel, continue.
Okay, for our zoning case today, we have a request for special use permit for auto sales in the I-1 zoning district in Wheatland Township, in the industrial park. Committee recommends approval, and I submit.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Ms. Hart. In previous roll by Mr. Mayor, second by Mr. Brooks. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
We have one resolution today, 17-139, is an extension of a special use permit in case 6262S. This is in Beecher, Illinois. It's a outdoor events center that has some building issues to resolve yet, so they want to extend their special use permit. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Ms. Summers. Any discussion? Any discussion? Moved by previous roll by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
At our committee meeting, we had our consultant there. We're updating our zoning ordinance for some various changes. We gave the consultant some direction, and we'll be working on that for the next several months. Our next meeting is July 11th. That concludes my request.
Thank you, Tom. Next up, Finance Committee, Mr. Frizzalone, Chairman.
Good morning, Will County.
Good morning, Michael.
We have some reports to put on file. First one is the report from the Illinois Department of Revenue showing sales tax remitted to Will County for the month of March 2017 to be $1,322,996.75. The RTA tax received is $1,628,484.56 for a total of $2,951,481.31. We also have the Will County Monthly Treasurer Report dated April 30th, 2017, and we have the Will County Circuit Clerk Annual Financial Report for fiscal year ending November 30th, 2016. I'd like to put all of these reports on file, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Parker. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
We only have one piece of business today. That's number 17-140, appropriating grant funds in the coroner's budget, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Rice. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Melatown, second by Ms. Parker. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
So I have this month, and our next finance meeting, due to the holiday, will be August 1st at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Next up, Public Works and Transportation Committee, Mr. Gould, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive.
Good morning, Don.
Fellow board members. One item to place on file this morning. I have a proposed issuance of the Clean Air Act permit program for Seating Concepts Incorporated in Rockdale, Illinois. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Dollinger, sorry. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll. Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-118 was tabled at the last meeting. I've been informed that the State Attorney's Office is still exchanging information and speaking with IDOT and the applicant, so I would make a motion to remove this from table.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Parker. Any discussion? Any discussion? We'll take a roll call. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Okay, and if we hear more, we'll bring that resolution back at a future time. If resolution...
So you're just removing it from the table?
From the table. Not
Well, you gotta do something with that.
Need a motion to remove?
Motion removed from the agenda.
You want to move it for...
Sorry.
I'm trying to do it all at once. You had to get it off the table anyway, so...
Remove from the agenda, then I'll make it.
Make a motion.
Sorry.
Mr. Gould makes a motion to remove 17-118 from the agenda. second by Ms. Melatello. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Mayor?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Singer?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Trainier?
Yes.
Benefield?
Yes.
Fritz?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Militello?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Staley Ferry?
Yes.
Dollinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Tumanello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Colitis?
Yes.
And Eustace.
Yes.
24 affirmative.
24 affirmative, motion is carried.
Thank you. Resolution 17-141 is confirming an award of contract to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation led on May 17, 2017 for Center Road from Joliet Road to Wilmington Piatone Road in County Board District 1. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Summers. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, second by Mr. Harris. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-142, an improvement by the county under the Illinois Highway Code for Center Road, County Board District 1, using MFT funds. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Summers. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-143, confirming an award of contract to Austin Tyler Construction led on May 17th, countywide culvert replacement, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Tumanello. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Dollinger, second by Ms. Trainier. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-144, confirming an award of contract to P.T. Farrell Construction led on May 17th, Manhattan Road District Overlay, County Board District 2. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Tumanello. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Staley Ferry. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-145, confirming an order of contract to Deconstruction led on May 17th for car wash demolition on Weber Road, County Board District 3. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Ms. Parker. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-146, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for construction engineering services with T.Y. Lin International Great Lakes for the reconstruction and widening of Pauline Goodnow Road over Plum Creek using county RTA funds in County Board District 1. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Summers. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Fritz, second by Mr. Benefield. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-147, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will and the Village of Romeoville for the improvement of Weber Road from south of 135th Street, Romeo Road, extending south of Normantown Road in County Board Districts 3 and 13. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Rice, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-148, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the County of Will and the Village of Romeoville for the improvement of Weber Road from south of Normantown Road to 119th Street in County Board Districts 3 and 4. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Rice. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, second by Ms. Summers. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-149, authorizing transfer of jurisdiction of 95th Street to the Village of Bolingbrook by the county under the Illinois Highway Code, County Board Districts 3 and 11. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Rice. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Due to the July 4th holiday, any resolutions next month will go through the executive committee because our committee date happened to fall on the 4th. That concludes my report.
Next meeting scheduled.
Our next meeting would be August 1st.
Thank you,
Anything for
John.
next month, just so the public knows, to go to executive committee.
Yes. Thank you. Next up, Judicial Committee, Mr. Benfield, Chairman. Oh, Mr. Mayor.
I'm trying to push buttons, something about the technology here, I kind of cut off, but that's okay. I just got a question for Don. I forgot to ask in caucus, Don, where does the contract with Bolingbrook go for the bridge, do you know? On 95th Street, how far that? Does it go to the middle of the bridge, is it the beginning, or is it, they take the whole thing?
I'll let Jeff, I don't know if he's got it with him, but I'll.
South end of the bridge.
Right.
It is the south
Yeah.
abutment of the bridge, south abutment of the bridge.
Okay,
Middle of the bridge.
just up to the bridge.
Up to the bridge, south end of the bridge.
Okay, so we're still taking on the whole bridge
We are.
at this point.
At this point,
And is there any discussion with Naperville on the other side?
they have declined.
They- Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Executive.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Welcome, Mr. Benfield.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. I just have one report to be placed on file. It's the Will County Jail 2017 inspection report for the Illinois Department of Corrections, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Benfield, second by Ms. Fritz. Any discussion, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Carried, motion is carried.
Our next judicial committee will be on August 1st at 9 a.m. Our July meeting actually falls on the 4th, and so that is all being August 1st for the next committee meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Darren. Next up, Public Health and Safety Committee. Don, Mr. Gould.
Unfortunately, Judy O'Dowd's father had to go to the hospital last night, so she couldn't be with us. Keep him in your prayers. She just has one item on file, which is the Will County Health Department Community Health Center 2016 annual report, which contains a lot of information for your review, so I would move to place that on file.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Ms. Montalvo. Any questions? Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Carried, motion is carried.
The next meeting is scheduled for July 6th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Don. Next up, Legislative and Policy Committee, Mr. Hart, Chairperson.
Thank you, Senator Walsh. Good morning, everyone. We have a lot to report today. I normally, my reports are light, but right now we have had a very busy last month, and we talked about it in great length for an hour and a half in committee. Speaker Eustace, as well as with Nick Palmer from the Executive's Office, and myself went to Washington, D.C. at the end of last month. Of the 6 years I've been on this board, it was probably the most productive meetings that I have attended. It was 12 offices and probably 30 hours. It was a whirlwind, but we got to see everyone in our delegation. We were also able to go in and with the various agencies coming out. They know exactly where Will County stands and what our asks and what to watch out for and what we need. So thank you all with that. On to the state. Well, there were some bills at the end of session that came out with the different various funding with the 911 that had passed, and the sunset date is that's approaching, and it did get the extension, as well as defeated on a small cell bill, which goes into greater detail, but that too was defeated, and a Corey bill that came out, and our consultants were very successful in stopping that as well. Pardon me? Corey, a bill about Corey that we had to stop in Springfield. It was very effective. So they also, on a different note, and not always do I kind of go into what's going on in the statewide, I kind of like to focus on what's happening here in Will County, but every time I sit down, I say there's no budget. The Republicans held a press conference yesterday and came out and proposed what exactly would work for them in part of negotiation with what was going on with the Senate. And there was just a a few items, a handful of items that came out, and I would just kind of want to run down briefly where they have a 4-year spending cut. That would be on transportation, would be a cut, and as well as human services, as well as a 4-year property tax freeze they have put out. They also talked about with the consolidation bill of negotiating the Senate Bill 3, and also adding that you could put on for a referenda. Education funding also was a negotiated bill with the Senate and putting in proposed. Workman's comp, which again, that came out of President Cullerton and Christine Redonia, our leader Redonia, as well as pension reform. And then they also, with the term limits, they put in for a 10-year term limit for the General Assembly and 8-year for any of our statewide, being the governor, lieutenant governor, and so forth. That is all I have to report. Let's see, they're going to go back in the last week of June, so in a couple of weeks they're going to go back and hopefully see some negotiation and get a budget. We have, so everyone knows, we have a couple of our own, again, back with, our health department and workforce and every other areas that we're waiting. There's so many agencies, very important services in our county that are not getting paid because of this standstill. So let's all hope for the best. Have a great month, everyone.
Thank you very much, Susan.
Oh, I'm sorry, and I want to say, we will not have a legislative committee meeting next month. If there's anything to report, we will go ahead and run that through an executive.
So no meeting for July?
No meeting for July. Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Capital Improvement Committee, Mr. Tumanello, Chairman.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Executive. Good morning, Ray. County Board. I have 2 items today. One is number 17-150, authorizing the county executive to amend the existing construction management contract with Leopardo Companies for construction costs associated with the deceleration lane, relocated vehicle impound lot, and specialty equipment vehicle storage building at the public safety complex. And I so move.
Moved by Mr. Tumanello, second by Mr. Mayor. Any discussion? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Dollinger. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next item I have is 17-151, authorizing the Will County Executive to amend the total project cost budget for the Will County Courthouse, and I so move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tumanello, second by Ms. Fritz. Any question? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, second by Mr. Markham. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Nancy, please show me the note.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Executive, our next capital improvement committee meeting is scheduled for June 20th at 9:30 a.m. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Ray. Next up is the Executive Committee, Mr. Mustis.
Good morning, Mr. Executive.
Morning.
Morning, County Board. My first resolution today is 17-134, authorizing a contract with the Kluber Architects and Engineering for the Health Department facility on Leesville Field.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Question, Mr. Weigel?
The agenda says it was tabled last month. You have to remove that from the table.
Oh, was it tabled? Yeah, it was. Mr. Executive, I'll make a motion to take off the table 17-134.
All right. Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Frizzalone. Call the roll.
Mayor?
Yes.
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Singer?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Trainier?
Yes.
Benefield?
Yes.
Fritz?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Latello?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Staley Ferry?
Yes.
Dollinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Tumanello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Colitis?
Yes.
And Mustis.
Yes.
Thank you.
24 affirmative.
24 affirmative that has been brought off of the 17-134 has been brought off the table. Now motion to approve.
Now, Mr. Executive, I'd like a motion to approve 17-134.
Moved by Mr. Mister, seconded by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Mayor, second by Mr. Brooks. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
17-152, authorizing professional service agreement with Ann L. Schneider and Associates for transportation consulting services, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mister, seconded by Mr. Mayor. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll call.
Mr. Executive.
Question?
Yes. In our caucus today, we had a lively discussion, and we came up with 3 areas that we would like to have amended and added to the contract. And so I'd like to make a motion to amend that we add a termination clause in the contract, that this annual contract ends on June 30th, 2018, so that it is an annual contract. The dates were conflicting. And the third thing is I'd like to add a governance structure to implement this plan shown in Figure 1 in the original scope of work for the Will County Community Friendly Freight Mobility Plan. And just to let people know where that is, I think the staff has put on your desk the original contract that we had with Ann for the scope of work for the freight plan. And if you go to 20.2.B, you'll see the governance structure that we're discussing. So those 3 are.
You said 2. You said 2.
You said 3. I said 3 of them.
Correct. But you said 2.
Termination contract.
That's one.
The end of the contract to be reflected of June 30th in the resolution to June 30th, 2018.
Okay.
2018, and then the governance structure.
What's the termination language then?
That was to be developed that Mary has already.
30 days, 60 days?
Yeah, it would be a 30 days, upon 30 days written notice, reciprocal termination clause that either party can terminate upon 30 days written notice.
Okay. Second.
Second, those amendments.
Second motion to amend by Mr. Chris Wong. Any discussion? Any discussion on the amendment? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Singer?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Trainier?
Yes.
Menifee?
Yes.
Fritz?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Militello?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Staley Ferry?
Yes.
Dollinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Chiminello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Colitis?
Yes.
And Eustace.
Yes.
24 affirmative.
24 affirmative, the resolution has been approved. As
Mr.
amended.
Executive, I would then make a motion to approve 17-152 as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Mr. Mayor. Any questions? Previous roll call by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by aye. By aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next, I have resolution 17-153, authorizing contract with Stiff Brothers Excavating in the Shawnee Water Service Connection Project. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Miller, second by Mr. Militello. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Brooks, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, we have resolution 17-154, declaring sheriff's seized vehicles surplus and authorizing disposal. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Rice. Any questions? Discussion. Previous roll by Ms. Parker, second by Ms. Dellinger. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-155, authorizing an IGA with the city of Wilmington for electronic recycling. I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Eustace, second by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Mayor, second by Ms. Malatello. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next we have Resolution 17-156, asserting the 2017 prevailing wage rates, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Eustace, second by Ms. Summers. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, and second by Ms. Stanley Perry. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, and motion is carried.
Next resolution, 17-157, authorizing the county executive to execute a contract for 2018 Northeastern Illinois Area Agency on Aging application for grant funds. I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Eustace, second by Mr. Balich. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Tumanello, second by Ms. Fritz. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
17-158, replacement hire for a workforce investment director, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Eustace, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-159, new hires for facility management director, and I will move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Eustace, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, second by Mr. Harris. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Our next scheduled executive meeting will be on July 6th, but I'd like to mention at that meeting, because of the 4th of July holiday, which is where the day where most of our committees meet, obviously being a holiday, we will not be meeting, so all the business from those committees will come over to the executive committee. So I would, ask all of you, I would ask everybody to attend, even if we have to move it here, so all the board members are present. So they will go through all the committee work, and I will just put it over to the committee chairs, and they can go through their agendas. But it would be nice if the committee members could also be present. So I know you'll be there, Mr. Brooks. So that's just a mention. Next, I would make a motion to approve the 2017 appointments of the county executive. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Minshew, second by Mr. Brooks. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, second by Ms. Ryan. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Mr. Executive, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moses. Next up is public comment. Anyone in the audience would like to address this board? Anyone address this board? Nobody signed up? Seeing none, moving on. Any announcements by county board members? Ms. Summers.
Thank you, Executive Walsh. I'm very pleased to see that we are moving forward on the freight mobility study. I think we need to plan for the future. However, I do have some concerns. There were forums held in different areas of the county, and a mobility freight study, if you look at it by definition, includes transportation, rail, air, the freight. Our area of the county, which is District 1, is going to be receiving possibly an airport, an intermodal, and a portion of the Inland Expressway. We, however, were not afforded the same consideration on having a study come out to our area for community input. I have some very big concerns with that, as my job as elected to this District 1 is to
ensure that the safety of the people in my area is taken care of. I was told at the meeting in New Lenox that there was one scheduled in Crete, however, it was canceled. I am requesting that we are allowed the same consideration on the eastern side of the county to have community input placed. We are talking about the farmers, we are talking about young families, we are talking about seniors who were not given the ability to put input, and they need to know what is going on.
Okay. Eustace?
Yeah, I certainly understand Ms. Summers' comment. As we all want to advocate for our districts and want to make it as convenient for our districts as we can. It is a large county, over 800 square miles. And I could make the same argument about my district. Why wasn't my district afforded? We have Route 45, we have Route 30, we have Route 43, we have I-80, and we have considerable truck and commercial traffic through my district already. But we did not have a meeting in my district, which is much more heavily populated, I may add. There was a meeting scheduled for Eastern End. It was canceled. And I would say this, Ms. Summers, is as I expressed to Member Ogalla in relation to this. Our goal was to complete the study by the end of June. We did not want to, and I do not want to, and I think that the board did not want to delay the final product to go have another forum. But it doesn't mean we can't get out there. It doesn't mean that Member Ogalla and yourself, along with staff and myself, I'll get out there, that we can't put something together, that we can't get out some surveys, that we can't get out there. But that some of that falls on the district members to organize it, make sure we have a place to go. And, we on a couple of occasions reached out to the Crete area, and so to say that there was not a meeting, we tried to put a meeting. It was canceled by whoever was going to host it in Eastern Will County said they couldn't host it at the last minute. It was moved to New Lenox. I mean, there was not a meeting. I don't believe there was a meeting that was originally scheduled for New Lenox. The Eastern Will County meeting then was moved to New Lenox, which I attended, and I know you attended because I see you there. And I think there was quite a few members of the public from the eastern end of the county that came out also. So, it's not that we don't want to service or make it as convenient for everyone in the county. Eastern Will County is part of the county, but there's a lot of other. I think I can go through every district member here, and they'll make an argument of why didn't I have one in my district. Maybe that's how we should have set it up. We'd have 13 different forums for 13 different districts. And I might add that it seems that we not only make an assertive effort to go into the far reaches in this county, but the more populated areas have to drive out to the less populated areas for these forums, and we do it continually. So, I believe I would like to think that the eastern end of the county was well informed, that the forum for Eastern Will County was moved to New Lenox, to no fault of the county or the consultants. So, having said that, I think that because the study we were supposed to have it finished by the end of June, because this is time sensitive, we're trying to get ourselves positioned. So there's a federal transportation bill put out there, and there's money for specifically for freight initiatives. We want to be prepared to put in for those grants. So there is a time sensitivity to it, but I certainly am sensitive to what you're saying. And certainly I have completely understand you advocating for your district. But I might add there was 3 meetings and there's 13 districts, which meant 10 districts didn't have their own forum. So I don't know how else to put it, but I'd be more than happy to help put some additional some type of forum out there, but the study has to continue going forward so we can stick to our initial completion date of June 30th. Boy, that was a long answer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody thought they were going to get out of here earlier than usual. So anyways, like I said, I'm not here to debate with you, I'm just kind of standing out. You know.
Mr. Mostes, if I can reply to you.
Sure.
When is this to be brought before the county board? When are we talking about bringing the proposal to the county board?
Well, I think the study would be looking for approval in July. I mean, initially, we're accepting it, I shouldn't say approval, we'd be accepting it. And I think there are some things we can do quickly, if folks would like. We can do, put surveys up on the internet, we can push things out to organizations in your area if you like, to see if we get a more immediate response. But the original schedule was for the study to be completed in June and then to be brought forward to the county board in July and look at the, and I might add, it's a draft, which means you can change the draft. So we would have some time to have input into that draft prior to the July County Board meeting. So I know it's a tight time frame, but it still gives folks time and organizations time to respond to the draft. So we'll put the draft out there pretty quick, and maybe we'll have a public hearing prior to the county board meeting on the draft.
Secondly, Mr. Mostes, I was not aware that the one that was scheduled out in my district had been canceled. Myself or Judy O'Gallo were not reached out to. We would have been able to find a place for you. Initially, I was told, like in the past week, that we could hold one. I've actually pretty much secured a place before the end of the month. And if at all possible, I would like to see that happen. Again, since we will be recipients of an intermodal, possibly the airport, and a portion of the Alien Expressway. I'm not asking to be treated differently than any other district, but when you expect people to drive an hour and the time frame was 5 to 7 p.m. and people weren't even off work or getting off trains until 6 or 6:30, yes, you need to bring it back out to the eastern side.
Your district is not unique in that manner. You know, people in my district also get home at 6:30, 7:30, is probably the majority of our districts. So here again, I think going forward, we can make the format differently. If this board, when we have these type of things come up again, want to have 13 forums for every single district, I guess that's fine. It takes time and money to do that. I'm just saying that we all drive, and when I first moved to Will County in the Frankfort area, it was pretty rural. I had to drive 5 miles to get to a gallon mile. I accept that because I decided, made a conscious effort. I was going to live in a rural area. So I here again think that we go overboard to reach some of the further areas of Will County, and certainly in this instance, two of the three were scheduled to be held in rural areas, not urban areas. So, and it is a document, it's a living document. It's not like this is the last time you're ever going to be able to say something. So, Ms. Plummer will try and
thank you very much.
To work something in the schedule, possibly not before it's been brought to the county board, but it's the District 1 very much wants the opportunity to speak their piece. We'll see what we can get done in in later in the summer. But taking testimony and listening to people is always a benefit for us, whether it's before the product is already put out or whether it's afterwards. So, okay.
That's a good point, Mr. Executive. It is a living document. We're going to continue to work on this. I hate to use the word promise, but we would do every effort to get out to your district to do some additional work. It just won't be the same type of forum, that's all.
Thank you. So, Mr. Singer.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to address something about District 1. And to some extent, it's even comments that have been kind of brewing in my mind for years. I had the pleasure of representing District 1 for a decade. And that was during the time when growth and development was proficient, and there was a lot of changes going on throughout the county, especially Eastern Will County, as it relates to unincorporated development. Initially, that's when the airport issue was really, big, front and center, and all this was occurring. And I think it should just be pointed out that there is, to some degree, a culture in Eastern Will County that in some part developed and in some part reinforced by some local officials. And Lori, this is not a veiled way of saying you, but by others, that Eastern Will County is somehow left out, that it isn't paid attention to, that it's not important, it's not a priority. And I can speak with a degree of authority on this. I represented the area for 10 years. I saw what was done there. And I think it's just important that we talk about facts and not perception. There is, by and large, no area of the county other than Eastern Will County that received more attention in the last 10 to 14 years than Eastern Will County. When it comes to transportation funding, as an example, until we agreed to participate in the reconstruction of Weber Road and 55, District 1 led year after year after year in the amount of transportation dollars invested into the county above all other districts, by and large. Staff time, as it relates to land use and zoning, dedicated to Eastern Will County was dramatically higher than any other place in the county, largely, obviously, because it's most of those areas are unincorporated. The entire land use and development plan is largely based around what should be, or what should be done as it related to the needs and interests and wishes of people in Eastern Will County. Because really, other than folks that are near Braidwood or Shanahan or Wilmington, most unincorporated development would all occur in Eastern Will County. So really, even though it's a Will County land use and development plan, you could almost call it the Eastern Will County land use and development plan. In addition to that, an enormous amount of time from former Executive Mikan to Executive Walsh, staff, over all these years as it relates to, big projects, from Ileana to the airport, the list goes on. But all those were, by and large, created, or the concept of them created by the state of Illinois, and we were responding. And frankly, did one heck of a decent job in representing the needs and interests of residents in Eastern Will County. So I just think it's important to point that out, that when it comes to actual real dollars, and I would encourage anyone who has concerns or may not believe that, look at the numbers. Look at transportation funding from 03, 04, 05 for the next 10 years, and look where it was dedicated. Look at the amount of resources that's spent by the Forest Preserve District in this county, and investment in open space. Other than Homer Township, Eastern Will County exceeded those investments dramatically. I mean, this list can go on and on and on. So by no means am I trying to imply that there's not needs, that we should no longer make that a significant priority for us. But this concept, or a culture, that Eastern Will County is left out of the process, or it's not well represented, it's not well taken care of or paid attention to, is just blatantly false. And I just felt that that needed to be said. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Executive, I can make my comments below with the being, if you're ready for me to go in and go to the next level here on the agenda for...
No, we're not.
So I'll hold off and we'll say it then.
Okay.
I know.
Mr. Rainier?
Mr. Executive, we do seem to be in a piling on contest today to District 1 because they're calling attention to an area that they think should have been included. I suggest or propose that, you know, the focus in the county has changed year after year, decade after decade. At one point, I'm sure Bolingbrook was the big star of the land use and the roads and all the projects and all the money. I mean, it moves around, it's progress. And it's just right now, it just seems to be focused over on the eastern side of the county because they're unincorporated, which is really the role of the county board, is to help with the unincorporated areas. Municipalities are responsible for their boundaries. There are not a lot of municipalities in County Board District 1 or in Don Gould County Board District for that matter. So, you know, you're going to have more attention focused there because of the very nature of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Griswold?
This is on another subject, if everybody's done with that. I just want to thank and congratulate the entire board for having the foresight to do the bonding for our buildings when we did them. If you read the paper today, the feds bumped up another 25 basis points, which I think is the third raise since we bonded. And the statement made in the paper today is the rate forecast based on individual projections from each member of the board envisions 3 more rate hikes in 2018 and 3 more in 2019. By then the rate will be up to 3%. So maybe we caught a lucky break, but we were all sharp enough to make that move when we did. Now granted, we do have some more bonding to do, and we have to take a look at maybe making it a little sooner than we may think because of what the rates are going to do, but congratulations on making that move when we did.
Thank you, Michael. Any other county board member want to make an announcement? Any other one? Mr. State's Attorney, you put on your county board yet?
When I made the announcement about Leopardo, technically we came from the Leopardo Charitable Foundation, and they wanted to make sure that was clear. But again, they have a very large foundation that is extremely generous, and you know, they should, again, already give them a round of applause. But by giving us that $10,000, they set a new benchmark for other corporations. So we've got to thank them.
Yeah, use that as evidence. Thank you, Jim.
Exactly, that second floor.
Yeah. Any other county board member? Moving on to Mr. Mayor, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh.
Now.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, a lot of good debate, a lot of good discussion. I appreciate the fact that we have this opportunity and to do this. You know, we saw yesterday how political differences, when not put into perspective, can lead to deadly outcomes. It was not a good day yesterday in Congress or anywhere in this world when someone can, because of a political ideology, think that it's okay to go shoot people. And we're all elected to make the best decisions that we can for the citizens we represent. We don't always agree on it. We don't always come to use the same philosophical decision process. But I think we all have the best intentions out there to meet the needs of the folks that we are working with. I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the friends and family and colleagues of all those that were injured yesterday in DC. And I hope that as we continue the discussion that we have, and even with the discussion that we were just going through with District 1 and the highway study, this is a plan. I mean, we did the same plan several years ago with capital improvement. It gave us a roadmap for where we're headed. It's not the end of the day, it's the beginning of a process. And so I hope we can all take this and put this into perspective. I want to thank both sides of the aisle for all the hard work they did this month and every month that they come out and work for the citizens of this county. And as we go into July and this beautiful weather that we're having. I hope everybody and your family have a wonderful summer and safe summer as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next up, the Minority Leader, Mr. Brooks.
Good morning, Mr. Executive. Good morning, County Board members and residents of Will County. Let me begin by saying that the presence of the audience on today represents an incident that occurred in my district, Baby Samaje. And even though during the comment period they did not have anything to say, their presence here does speak volumes. Because of the untimely death of this baby, not only the city of Joliet eyes have been opened, but Will County and the state of Illinois. So I certainly want to thank them with their presence that coming to the county board today, to keeping it before us, because this child's untimely death is going to lead to other things as well. And thank you so much for being here. And also, let me conclude with the comments. Even though today we passed many resolutions, we worked together across the aisles today, but I believe Darren's pastor begun prayer on today, Chuck, with your comments reminding us of what happened in Virginia on yesterday. And even though we are bipartisan, we can pass many resolutions, we get along very well. Unfortunately, there are some in America that don't see it that way. So even though we had a very good day here at our meeting, in America, it does put a cloud over us that would occur in Virginia. So my comment and my encouragement to everybody today, we have to continue to pray for our family, for our country, for those that were affected in the shooting. The staff at the White House, the guards, so forth in Virginia, they worked tremendously, as I heard the Speaker of the House mention on yesterday. So we certainly need to keep those families in our prayers, as well as our country in our prayers. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't think of any better way to close by just reminding you to pray for that, what happened in Virginia on yesterday, and for baby Samaje. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Pastor Brooks. Next up, Speaker, Eustace.
Well, as always, I'd like to thank the county board for all the work they've done all month. I'm not going to repeat what the majority and minority leader spoke to today, but I will say that the one, look at our board, and we've seen it today, there's disagreement. I think we're always respectful, maybe strong in our positions, but at the end, I think we're always colleagues and friends, and we're never enemies. And one of the things I'm proud of with this board. Everyone, all you fathers, have a great Father's Day. Kick back, watch a game, have a beer, smoke a cigar, whatever makes you the happiest. And I'm going to include those moms who sometimes also have to be dads. So have a great time, enjoy the weather. The Cubs and the Sox are sinking as we speak. We're only down to baseball, no more hockey, no more basketball. So now I'll just have to go sit in the yard and listen to cool jazz and smoke my cigar. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Eustace. No executive session today, and so this board will stand at recess until July 27, 9:30 a.m.